Welcome to Love Your Third Act, where experience meets freedom and life gets interesting again. I'm CWR. Today is the final episode of Season 1, and I can't quite believe that I got this far on the launch of my own third act. I hope so far I've given you food for thought and perhaps a different mindset about how you see your third act and your place within it and your purpose once you can see yourself in a different identity. This is the Third Act Manifesto. Now, if you realize that you want a third act blueprint, it's never too late, really. Once your plan has all its ingredients combined and is fully baked, you can begin any learning you need for the journey. I like a blueprint so I can last the long haul, having a blast, and hopefully I'll remember what the heck I was planning. Let's start here. You are not late. You are not behind. You have not missed your moment. Your third act begins exactly when it's supposed to, when life insists. Many companies and countries have different mandatory retirement ages for employees. Expats who live abroad for entire careers, tax-free, with all expenses paid, will return to their home countries when that day comes. All the perks of an expat executive disappear. All the paid flights, paid accommodation, paid transport. I think you get my drift. In many of my candidates' experiences, when you move back to a country that you left over 30 years ago, it can be mighty difficult. So where you live, your third act will influence your adjustment to what I call civilian life. And if you're lucky, anywhere you choose will be fabulous. I took it as a great opportunity to start adjusting my mindset while I was working through my third act blueprint. Sometimes it needs a rethink, it needs some intention, and a wee bit of good old Irish luck. Downsizing my life was a learning curve, but a refreshing one that makes you feel free and breezy again, kind of like you felt starting out. Here's a chance to curate your inner circle, trim down your obligations and focus inward. Less stuff, more freedom, learning again. Different mindset than what you expected, isn't it? Act 3 is permission. Permission to choose differently, move at your own pace, change your mind. Maybe you want less noise and more truth. Maybe you do want to spend it in your garden. Imagine a workaholic in the garden full-time, driving everybody positively nuts in the neighborhood with her overgrown Palace of Versailles thing. Things can take on a proportion you wouldn't believe if a workaholic is left with no plan, just energy and puttering. Hey, wind your neck back in. I saw you. I'm not criticizing people who choose the putter. That's fantastic for someone who always dreamed of puttering. However, it is rarely the choice of a workaholic. If you have the temperament of an F1 driver at Red Bull, but would feel much more steady and purposeful with a nice boxy Vauxhall, what do you think? Could you deal with being a Vauxhall after a long and successful career, wearing a crash helmet squeezed into the tiniest of spaces with your hoof to the metal? I've decided that's safer for me. Stick to the steady for the long haul. You're not here to repeat the past. You're here to refine it. Congratulate yourself. You've made it. You have nothing further to prove about anything to anyone anymore. You've made your bones, you've paid your dues, you've done the best you can, and that's enough. It's just that we workaholics do need a bit more time to make our peace with the identity confusion. Here's where it gets exciting. The world will always need what you've learned. Your experience still matters, and more than you can imagine. So does your insight, your steadiness, your judgment, and your humanity. You no longer see your third act as something to figure out, but something to design, live, and trust. Your story is not ending. It's finally becoming your own. If something you heard today stayed with you, sit with it for a while. That's where change begins. I hope you'll subscribe if you'd like to support my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you listening. You are on the maiden voyage of Love Your Third Act. Don't forget to ding that bell for notification of Season 2's first episode. This is Love Your Third Act. See you next time.